Oh, howdy everyone. My name is Adimana Rofikri and my other members of group is
My name is Sayla Mita. I'm from class A.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Habibatur Rasyiah. I'm from class 3A English Department of Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa University.
Please allow me to introduce myself. My complete name is Nada Safa Kamila. My call name is Nada. I'm from class 3A English Department.
My name is Rizka Hanifa. I am from class 3A.
group. We are coming from group 1. Before I'm going to the topic, I want to ask you something. Have you read a book today? Or how often do you read a book? Is it once a day, a week, a month, or even a book in 1 year? Why I'm asking you such questions? Because we are going to talk about literacy in Indonesia. So, what is the literacy? According to the National Literacy Trust, is an independent charity based in London, England that promotes literacy movement in the world. They believe literacy is ability to read, write, and listen well. A literate person is able to communicate effectively with others and understand about written information. Sounds good, right? It's important thing. But how about implementation literacy in Indonesia? Survey in 2015, the Program for International Student Assessment or PISA note that Indonesia literacy rate was ranked to 62 from 70 countries on that survey. Or in the 2016 Central Communicate State University in the world most literate nation ranking recorded that Indonesia reading interest was very low, that is ranked to 68 from the 61 country, which is ranked on the top but top 2 on the bottom list. That is very low for the literacy, right? We even got defeated by South Africa. According to that survey. So today we are going to dive into deeper talk about importance of literacy and urgency to increase literacy rate in Indonesia. So why literacy is important? What is the factor from Indonesian people have low rate for that literacy? And how we should increase our reading interest for literacy and then implementing them to our daily life. About that, we are going to talk deeper and deeper. So if my other group members have my other group members job to interest you what is literacy.
The United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, or we know as UNESCO, have drafted a definition of literacy as the ability to identify, understand, interpret, create, communicate, compute, and use printed and written materials associated with varying contexts. Literacy involves a continuum of learning in enabling individuals to achieve their goals, to develop their knowledge and potential, and to participate fully in their community and wider society. It is critical to have good literacy skills in order to succeed in modern life and to improve your quality of life. It's not just about being able to read, it's about how you use written information in modern society. We can all agree that being able to read and write has a huge impact on our daily lives. It influences our thinking, job advancement, and earning potential, as well as our ability to blend into our surroundings and social circles. Literacy enables us to communicate through reading, and the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, or UNESCO, has designed a Literacy Day to raise awareness about the importance of literacy.
According to statistical data from UNESCO, the reading interest of Indonesian people is very concerning, which is only 0.001%. That means out of 1,000 Indonesians, there is only one person who reads diligently. The data says in a year, children in Europe or America can be read up to 25 to 27% of books, followed by Japan with consumption of 15 to 18% of books per year. In a research entitled World's Most Literate Nations Rank conducted by Central Connecticut State University in 2016, Indonesia was ranked 60 out of 61 countries with low literacy levels, while the level of literacy in the first rank is occupied by the state of Finland. The low interest in reading in Indonesia can be influenced by several factors. The first factor is the number of families who have not instilled the habit of compulsory reading starting from childhood. Whereas childhood is the golden age where at this phase the child is experiencing very rapid growth so that parents can shape the character of their child. Informing a child who has an interest in reading, of course, it must start from the closest environment of the child, namely the family. Second, access to educational facilities is not evenly distributed and the quality of educational facilities is minimal. Third, the affordability of people's purchasing power for books. In addition, the fact that the price of books is still quite expensive for the lower middle class. The public has not been able to directly experience the benefits that can be obtained from reading a lot. At this time, people consider books not as a necessity because the price of books exceeds the price of basic necessities. The benefits of buying books are not comparable to the benefits of buying basic necessities. So, books are still a luxury item for most Indonesians. Fourth, is the lack of book production in Indonesia because the publishers are in undeveloped regions. And lastly, the development of an information technology causes a lack of public interest in the activity of reading books. The number of television broadcasts that offer a variety of interesting shows is able to seize the attention of many people. However, this is not accompanied by an increasingly attractive presentation of the print media or books on a large scale. Not only reading interest, it turns out that the reading ability of Indonesian people when compared to the level of countries in ASEAN is still very far away, especially when compared to all countries in the world.
Invite people to read actively. Type the habits of the Indonesian people in reading and writing are still very low. You don't have to go far to look at Europe communities such as Britain, France, Germany, or even America. Reading and writing habits are also relatively low. Indonesia ranks third bottom in the ASEAN region, or is above Cambodia and Laos. The low reading interest of the Indonesian people is increasingly causing the quality of education in Indonesia to also only run in place and tend to retreat. Based on several studies, the cause of the low reading culture is because Indonesian people prefer watching television, listening to the radio, and struggling in cyberspace, internet, and social media than reading books. In other words, Indonesian people prefer to send SMS or BBM, Facebook, or Twitter rather than reading books. The government should encourage and be more optional in growing and improving the reading culture of the Indonesian people, starting from increasing reading activities both at school and at home, to providing facilities and infrastructure such as providing reading books and lessons both in school libraries, regional libraries, as well as increasing community reading parks. The government seriously in encouraging public interest in reading is absolutely necessary. This is because the root and interchange condition of this low interest in reading must be improved. The government must be proactive in inviting people to love reading. One of them is to encourage an increasing in the number of book production. Currently, the number of book production in Indonesia is also quite low. Every year, only about titles are published, far lower than Malaysia, which produce up to 10,000 book titles annually. This figure will be even more alarming when compared to Japan, which publishes 44,000 titles of books per year. Title per year, this means that the number of available reading books has not been able to meet the basic needs of the Indonesian people in general to love reading. If accumulated, one book is read by 7 Indonesian citizens. Cultural observer Taufik Ismail complained about the condition of the Indonesian people in terms of reading. Taufik said that in development country, high school students are required to complete a certain number of reading books before they graduate or script here. For example, in Germany, France, and the Netherlands, high school students are required to finish 22 until 23 titles of books before they graduate. Whereas in Indonesia, said Taufik Ismail, there was no obligation from school or the government to students to finish reading books. 0 books per year. This condition is clearly contrary to the expectation of the nation's founding fathers who want an intelligent Indonesian society as stated in the preamble to Constitution, which is to educate the nation's life instead of education the nation's children. Realizing the education budget of only 20% is still a tug of war. In addition, there are still many Indonesian children who cannot go to school due to lack of funds. In fact, some students in the remote parts of this country also have to fight to the death because they have to hang on to the wires from a broken bridge. Meanwhile, government officials and involved in corrupt practice is a very sad irony. Therefore, the author hopes that the government can overcome all of this and be more concerned in fostering public interest in reading in order to educate the nation's children. Many efforts can be made, including motivate every family member to love reading, encourage teachers at school to emphasize the importance of reading a book every month, at least 1 book per month. Furthermore, increasing the availability of books in libraries and expanding community reading parks, increasing promotion and socialization of the Reading Founders movement, giving appreciation to groups or individuals who like to read, and providing cheap and quality reading books through book fairs.
And here I will continue the speech about the low literacy rate in Indonesia. So everyone, why do we need to develop an awareness of the importance of literacy? Can literacy affect our lives? But it seems that literacy is not important because right now all information can be obtained through videos such as TikTok or only from captions on Instagram, right? If you still have questions like that in you, then it indicates that your low quality is actually you who really need literacy. Why? Because a high level of literacy is the most supportive factor for a nation and needs people to be superior and advanced. In addition, reading interest is directly proportional to the level of educational progress of a nation, so that reading activities are very important for the progress of a nation. If so, it means that you have not become a superior and advanced society. Besides that, we also get many benefits if we apply literacy culture in our lives, namely increasing understanding in drawing conclusion so that there is no miscommunication, and then a more critical way of thinking so as not to arbitrarily accept information whose truth is still in thought are not easily influenced by hoax news. And ladies and gentlemen, there are many factors that cause the low interest in literacy in Indonesia. The most common reason being that they are not used to reading. Reading habits can be passed down through their parents since they were children. But most parents in Indonesia only introduce stories such as fairy tales and legends orally or verbally. So it is immediate environment that will influence someone to be closer to reading. If someone does not like reading, maybe because he was raised by parents who were never close to him in reading. Furthermore, there are many factors that are difficult to eliminate once they are formed. Does anyone know? Yes, laziness runs rampant in the soul. As we all know, Indonesia is known for its people who lay down. In Japan and America, they usually set a special time to read for 8 hours a day. In Indonesia, people also prepare special times, but not for reading, but for relaxing, playing games, lazing around watching television, or going to the mall or other entertainment place. And the time is even more than 8 hours. So everyone, I want to remind you once again how influential literacy is in your life. Try to imagine if you are invited to discuss something with some people, but only you who don't understand and you nod and pretend you understand so you don't look stupid. It's really not embarrassing, isn't it? And also, let's change the community's nickname, laying down, into a positive thing. We still lie down, but relax, but while reading a book, then rise with a positive spirit. So ladies and gentlemen, let's all influence the literacy culture from now on, starting with ourselves. Well, that's all I have for today. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.